Oh, that is absolutely amazing. Just look at that. Morning folks, it's 7 o'clock on the Tuesday, I think it is now, Tuesday morning. I always feel bad starting the bike up. Oh, kill switch. No, there's no quiet way to do it, I'm afraid. Get those grips on. It is absolutely freezing. Not a bad start to the day though, is it? Look at that to wake up to. There's the Nevis range of mountains. Peace and quiet. The only thing that spoils it is a couple of big fat exhausts on the back of a motorbike. Sorry everybody. Yeah, absolutely freezing this morning. In fact, absolutely freezing all night. It was blowing a gale as soon as I arrived yesterday, and really strong winds right into the night. But I woke up and the wind was completely still, which is good. But it got cold in the night. I'm not properly equipped for camping probably this time of year. Only got a thin sleeping bag. Could have put more layers on, I had more layers to put on, but it got to that point where you think, to put more layers on I've got to get out of my sleeping bag, which is going to make me colder. What do? I decided to stay in the sleeping bag. Just trying to get warm this morning, ended up doing star jumps in the shower block, trying to get some blood pumping through. So I've set off a little bit earlier than I'd planned because I spotted a McDonald's up here, and they'll have heaters on and they'll serve coffee and breakfast. So I'm going to go and sit in McDonald's for half an hour and get warm before we head on to Mallaig, which is the first destination on today's journey. Catch the ferry at Mallaig, then across to Armadale on Skye, and then something I'm really looking forward to, the loop of Skye. I've done parts of Skye before. I went to Portree over the bridge, but that's as far as I went. Didn't go into the northern loop of Skye, so that's what I'm going to do today. Quite a nice tea out last night. Glen Nevis has got its own bar and restaurant. Probably went down to sleep at about 8 o'clock. It didn't take me long to drop off. Exhausted after 10 hours riding yesterday. Well, certainly 10 hours on the road. But I can recommend the campsite, Glen Nevis. 27 quid it's cost me for 2 nights. I don't mind a bit of cold. Like I say, an adventure, isn't it? Let's grab a coffee, let's read the paper, and let's get some warmth through these bones. So the ferry's booked for 9:20, and to get there a little bit before, got to pick my ticket up when I get there. And sat-nav is saying 41 miles, saying we're going to get there at 5 to 9, so not really much time to stop off. Next sailing 9:40. Maybe that's next available sailing, as in tickets left for. I just love that when you look down at the sat-nav. I mean, not sure whether GoPro picks it out, but just look at the sat-nav anyway. Richie Vida would say that somebody's chucked a lot of spaghetti on his screen. But then you've got the coast as part of that view as well. So we've got the coast all the way around the top, and then we've got 38 miles to the next turning. Can manage that. Let's bang some grips on, get some heated through the hands. Now I don't think, in fact I'm pretty certain I've ever ridden this road before. It's the A830 to Mallaig. It's also nice to ride without panniers on. So the panniers are left in the tent. Everything that I need to take with me today, I've got the tail pack on the back. Feel the difference in weight immediately. Warmed up nicely thanks to the McDonald's coffee and breakfast. Heated grips starting to do their job now as well. This RST kit textile suit is ultra warm. A couple of layers underneath it, but this time of year, the suit with its thermal lining really comes into its own. tight turn then. It's probably a good a time as any to talk about the tyres that I had fitted. So previously I had Bridgestone T31s on, which I was very pleased with. But a screw in the rear tyre, which I just noticed a couple of days ago, thankfully noticed in time to get the tyres changed for this trip. So that screw meant a premature tyre change. Heard lots about the Road 5s, dry and wet grip. Got a lot of stuff on social media, on YouTube, a lot of people using them. So I thought I'd see what all the fuss was about. And I've got to say, first impressions are very positive. Thankfully, I've not had a wet grip test yet, everything's been dry. Still in touring mode, obviously, not pushing them to the limits. It's scrubbed in very quickly. Probably couldn't have timed it better if I'm going to get a puncture. Brand new set, front and back, of Road 5s, just bedded in time for a loop of Skye. Real differences in the surface quality of the roads around here. Mostly very good. Every now and again you get a patch of poor quality road. Just need to be ready for it. This is the thing about riding motorbikes in Scotland. You've just got miles and miles of road like this that go on forever. The only traffic I've seen this morning, apart from just on the outskirts of Fort William, there's been camper vans pulled up and parked in laybys where people have spent the night. These roads just get better and better. We've hit some traffic. Some clever person has thought, I'll put a dual carriageway in that section. Not that the Big Z needs dual carriageway to get past. Come on, just look at this. In case the views weren't good enough, somebody went and put a viaduct above the road just to finish it off. Well done to that person. Wow, look at that. Absolutely incredible. love the idea of these camper vans around Scotland pulling up in laybys, as those two have done, spending the night there while camping's allowed in Scotland, of course. What a view to wake up to in the morning. To Mallaig, or Mallaig, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but that has just shot by. It seems 2 minutes ago that was in Fort William. If you're enjoying roads like I enjoyed that road there, you just don't look at the distance that you've got to cover, you just enjoy each and every corner, each and every straight. Not that there were many straights, time just disappears. 8:45, ferry's at 9:20. Well, hopefully it is. The matrix sign said next sailing 9:40, so we'll see how that affects things. So plenty of time to pick my ticket up and get checked in. Hopefully get a few photos around the port. Right, straight on at the roundabout. Yeah.
Straight to the front, just come back up and get your ticket inside. Okay.
Nice one.
Be back at your vehicle in 15 minutes. Ready to start.
Easy to do. Go and get a ticket.
Has the man scanned your ticket?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're straight out.
Thanks, mate. This is nice. That quick ferry journey was very pleasant. Considered taking the ferry in the past, but always been put off just because of the potential fuss, any kind of difficulties getting booked on, getting booked off, etc. It's really easy, and I'm sure I'll do that again. Plan for the summer actually is a Western Isles tour So there's lots of ferry hopping involved in that, but if it's all as easy as that, I'll be happy. Ferry booked in advance, calmac.co.uk. Takes about just over half an hour to complete the crossing. So we're on the A87 now, heading towards the north of the island. Destination is Uig. We're going to stop for fuel and something to eat at Uig. That's 79 miles away. I didn't expect the roads on Skye to quite match those on the mainland, but so far they're very good, and the views certainly match expectations. And once again, virtually no traffic. These views are absolutely magnificent. I know that certainly for part of the route along the north of the island, I have planned a single carriageway road, single carriageway, single track road, I guess, with passing places. But that is straight from a recommended route, so it's not too long, not too worried about that, and with the traffic as light as it is, it shouldn't be too much of a burden. Not that riding roads like these could ever be a burden. Look at that. That is incredible. That is absolutely stunning. See a waterfall there in the corner. Not sure where the GoPro picks that up. So we're actually going to branch off here. We're going to turn left onto the A863. So the main road heads right towards Portree, is signposted Uig. We're going to end up at Uig, but we're going to go scenic route. Not that every route's not a scenic route on Skye. So this is the A863 heading left or west, starting a clockwise lap of the north of Skye. Never ridden this road before, don't really know what to expect. Wasn't banking on getting stuck behind a dustbin lorry. Should have seen me. Balance it. surface so far is pretty average. I certainly couldn't describe it as good. I'd probably describe it as poor in lots of places. Certainly since we turned off left with the A863, I think this road is. This part's slightly better. I love how this road's just lined with this yellow gorse. Brilliant to see. It seems to be everywhere in Scotland at this time of year. So turning back onto the A850 now. Run here for 14 miles. Still 26 miles away from Ewig. Have been mainly very good, very little traffic, especially northwest of Portree, or the turn off of Portree. Mixed in terms of road surface, so actually some surface is really pretty bad. There's an example for you. There's some patchwork going on, but they're not making such a good job of it. There are also large sections where they are starting to relay the roads, but still plenty that needs doing. 16 miles outside of Ewig, 25 to 12, middle of April, Monday. Temperature's probably around 10 degrees. Heated grips are on. But remarkably for Scotland, it's still dry. It's remained dry since I've been here. Don't want to have spoken too soon. Hopefully it'll stay like that. I mean, look at this road that I'm on now. You would love to be able to ride this road every day. So we've got a left turn coming up, B8036. Let's see where this takes us. It's a short stint on here, quick 1 mile shortcut across the A87. So Ewig, I believe, is a port. I don't know if there's a ferry terminal there. I don't know how big the port is, or whether it's just a fishing port. Well, there is a sign for ferry traffic there. Let's get some fuel. Never a good sign when the unleaded nozzle is covered up. Oh, that's not great. Plan to fill up. Oh, they've taken that off. Yeah, I'm gonna fill up. I had originally planned to fill up in Ewig, but just as I pulled into the petrol station, all the unleaded pumps were covered up. The attendant said that they were waiting for the delivery, it had not been here yet. So I started to get a little range anxiety. However, while I was starting having a drink, the tanker showed up. Good timing, sir. Taking some filling. Would have been tight on the way to Portree, I've got to say. Say goodbye to Ewig, thank you Ewig. for this precious fuel. I think I'm going to get it at one point. What they did have was a rapid electric charger, which would be just a job if you were one of the few people with an electric car. But what they didn't have was any fuel, which every other car runs on. Thankfully, tanker arrived just in time. Right, this is the single track section of the route that I was telling you about. This route, by the way, has come from Ride Magazine. So, Ride Magazine, thank you. You've inspired these 3 days away in Scotland. Oh. What I do when I read the bike magazines and read MCN, if I ever see a route that I quite like the look of, I'll save it, store it somewhere, and come back to it later. So that's what I did with this one. It's possibly even a year or so old, this route, the Fort William Loop. A great view down into Uig there. And according to this, right turn off there. So it looks like we've got 6 miles of these single tracks, littered with sheep by the looks of things. He's happy, stuffing his face full of grass. Once again, folks, it's staying dry. We've been blessed by the weather gods. It's not too cold either, probably about 9 or 10 degrees. Got plenty of layers on that keep me warm. Really has got the back of beyond feel about it up here. Middle of nowhere feel. Just looking at the map, looks like we are probably over the top of that hill. We should start to see the ocean. Oh, definitely Applecross-like here. Wow. Slide the back round. Oh, that is absolutely amazing. Just look at that. I did not expect that when I turned that corner. I did not expect that. Well, this is certainly Applecross-like, isn't it? Coming down the side of the mountain, on the opposite side to Applecross actually, the Bealach-na-Ba. Right in the middle of all of this is a cemetery. A strange place to put a cemetery. That'll do, mate.